Hi friends, welcome back to the garden. My name is Elias Castillo and you're watching Garden Foraged. Today is April 9th and I want to transplant some of my cold weather crops into the ground. So about a week ago, I brought out my cold tolerant vegetables outside from my grow room, and I started leaving them in my porch, and I would inch them forward towards the sunlight every day, a little bit closer as each day passed by, so that they can get hardened off. And it's been exactly a week. I think they're ready to go outside. We have pretty nice weather coming up. We have a few nights that are going to be in the upper 30s, so like 36, 37. So I think that's going to be okay. So I'm going to be planting them outside today. I just realized how much broccoli rabe I started, and if you don't know what broccoli rabe is a type of broccoli, and instead of sending one huge floret at the top, it just sends smaller shoots on the side, and you eat those like broccolini. It's probably what you know it as. I have a ton of vegetables that I started. So these are all reused containers that I've bought from the stores before, and now I use them as my starter cups and stuff like that. So you can always reuse those if they're not broken. So let's talk about what we have here. First, I have some red collard greens here. They're not showing any red yet, but I'm hoping they turn a little bit purple or reddish. These are cauliflowers. I have 4 of these in here, and you can see this one, I only had, this one didn't sprout anything, but I'll separate these out and plant them as individual plants. These are Swiss chard and they are beautiful. This is the broccoli rabe I'm telling you about. I have 1, 2, 4 containers, and each container probably has like 8 or so plants. So I'm gonna have a ton of those. That in the back there is Napa cabbage. These are artichokes that I started again because some of mine died last year. I have oak leaf lettuce right here. I have some bok choy right there. I'm going to be separating those out. Then these guys are regular collard greens, and these are cauliflower, I think. And this one is broccoli. Starting your own seeds saves you a lot of money. I went to Home Depot yesterday and I saw one zucchini plant for $4.73, and then I saw some tomatoes and they were like $4 for one plant. And I even saw one tomato in a 3-gallon pot that was $20, one single plant. I have 23 packs of starter plants here, and each pack has at least 4, if not double that. I double seed everything and then I spread them out. So I have over 100 seedlings that I'm going to be putting into the ground today, and that probably cost me $20 just for the seeds, probably less, because I save seeds every year and I reuse some of the seeds that I get from the previous season. So starting your own seeds can be daunting. You will have to buy some equipment like a grow light and a shelf, but the initial investment is about $200, and after those $200 you'll be able to reuse those lights for many years to come. So I encourage you to make the investment and get some grow lights. These are some beautiful broccoli. I don't know what happened, but I only started 1 of these. I think it's because the broccolini, I'm hoping for it to do better, so I only have 1 thing of regular broccoli, and I'm banking on the broccolini to come through. So I have a lot of plants growing in my yard right now, and you can see my garden beds are probably 50% full. The problem with that is I'm gonna have to make some sacrifices today. I'm gonna have to pull out some of those vegetables that are still producing right now in order to replace them with some that are gonna produce even more. So for example, I have some tatsoi around here that I'm gonna have to pull up. It's already going to flower anyways. You see the yellow flowers there. And I have some of those kales and collard greens back there that are just dying off right now, so I'm gonna have to sacrifice a few of those in order to make space for the new vegetables. Today is April 9th, and in about 1 month, May 10th, is when I plant my heat loving plants like peppers and tomatoes. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to leave a little bit of room so I can leave a little bit of room for my plants that love the heat. Don't be afraid when picking up your plants. This is how I do all my plants. I push them from the bottom, and I would do this even if it was a bigger cup, and then I turn this upside down and then I pull them out. So this is my plug right here. You can see that the roots are a little bit root bound already, so these are probably a little late going in, but I'll come in here, loosen these up a little bit, and then dump them into the ground. This one, since it's so root bound, I'm just gonna plant it as one, and there's 4 plants in there. Make your hole about as deep as this is. So this is about 2 inches, so I'm gonna make a hole about 2 inches deep. Deposit my little seedling, and into the ground it goes. First transplant of the season. Broccoli's going in next. I am running out of space and I'm only halfway through, but there's no problem because I have a whole segment of the yard that I haven't started planting yet. So I'm going to be planting the other half in the side yard, or back orchard as I like to call it. Over here in this bed I have some collard greens. You can see the collard greens here, and some cilantro. I'm going to be interplanting my cauliflower in here. Don't be afraid to break your roots like this. I break up the clump like this, and then I tease them apart. They will survive. Don't worry. Just try not to damage the center root. But as you can see here, I'm a little bit careless when I do this, and they survive. So that's why you start a ton of seeds, so some of them can die and you'll be all right. So it has been an hour since I started planting, and I want to finish up now. I'm getting tired. I have 3 containers left. Actually, I have 4 containers left that I still need to plant. I have red collard greens, green collard greens, and green cabbage. So I've built these 4 raised beds here, and I added full compost from that compost that I broke back there. I don't know if the compost is finished enough to plant into, but I'm going to plant them in here because I don't have any more space in the front. I want to use this for, I have plenty of collard greens and green cabbage elsewhere, so if these don't do so well, that's going to be okay. And I am reserving right there where you see that white picket fence, I'm reserving that area for the tomatoes and the peppers and the eggplants for this year. So that gets a ton of sun back there, so I really want to use that for the stuff that I love. I have one last thing to plant, and that is my green cabbage. And I'm going to be using this raised bed over here. It's about 30 inches by about 4 feet. And I'm going to put all of the cabbages in here. I like to harvest them small because that way it's easier to deal with in the kitchen. Here we go, last planting. And that is all, my friends. It took over an hour and 20 minutes to plant all of those seedlings. There was a ton of them. I think it was 23 or 20 or 26 little packages like this, or the for sale packs. And each one of those had 4 to 8 plants each. And some of them I left alone, and some of them I teased apart and I used individual seeds. So hopefully in about a week I should be able to make an update video and show you guys how the seedlings are taking on, and I hope a lot of them survive. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. See you guys on the next one.